Coming up on Mountain News this morning, returning to school can be anxious for anyone, but for some, the thought can be a nightmare. And the Williamsburg community was able to host their annual Kayak for Kids.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 o'clock on August 7th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast on this First Alert Weather Day. And Brandon, you were kind of teaching me this morning, and I'm sure you'll explain it, but we're seeing clear skies, it looks like, outside right now, which is not really a great thing today.
No, exactly. So we were hoping for a little bit more rain this morning. We'll see if it materializes. It still could. But if it doesn't, that means it's going to be a more active afternoon. So again, please have a way to get those alerts quickly if they're issued. Let's take a look at the satellite radar. We can see some clouds came through a little bit earlier. There's still a few clouds down near the Kentucky-Tennessee border where they're seeing some brief showers out there this morning. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. It's not a lot. And then you see basically southern or southeastern Whitley County going into parts of Claiborne and Campbell counties in East Tennessee. But even then, that's just very spotty chances for rain out there this morning. Very mild, very muggy, temperatures in the upper 60s, and even Clintwood's up a degree this morning. So that warm air surging in, upper 60s to upper 70s. Dew points in the 60s and 70s there. Clintwood being the exception at 52. But again, it's very sticky out there this morning. So again, make sure you have a way to get alerts, weather radio, batteries in it to be back up there in case you lose power, fully charged devices if you've got the WYMT First Alert weather app on them. So again, if you lose power, it'll be this afternoon because showers and storms should pick up a little bit later on. They'll be around through about from lunchtime through about 6 o'clock tonight, the worst of them anyway, as temperatures top out in the low to mid 80s later this afternoon. Olivia.
Thank you, Brandon. More than 1 year following the devastating floods across the region, some volunteers say they are in for the long haul. Members of the Catholic Diocese of Lexington were in Breathitt County building a new home from the ground up. Director of the Office of Peace and Justice for the Catholic Diocese, Joshua Van Cleef, says they want to be a part of the journey and help folks rebuild.
So today we have people from all across the diocese, about 12 people that came from different parishes across the diocese and said, we want to help. Not just help financially, but we want to help build these homes because we know that recovery isn't just a material task. Recovery is a spiritual task, it's a human task, it encompasses our entire lives. So we want to walk with people any way that we can.
Van Cleef says although the work is hard, it pays off once families are welcomed into their new homes. Students across the Commonwealth are preparing to head back to school in the coming weeks. While some children are excited to get back into the classroom, others are nervous. Experts say getting butterflies ahead of the first day of school is normal. But for some students, back to school anxieties go beyond a couple butterflies. Child psychologist Dr. Catherine Stone says the biggest thing to support their children is making sure they feel heard.
You're starting to already hear your kid refuse going to school. If even the mention of driving past the school or going on the playground causes distress, if you're starting to see a lot of sleep disturbance, then you know you may be dealing with a little bit more than your typical preschool jitter.
Dr. Stone says scheduling a visit with your child's teacher or even taking them to play on the school's playground can help ease your child's nerves and make them more comfortable at their school. The Williamsburg community showed out Saturday for a good cause on the Cumberland River. The 7th annual Kayaking for Kids took place at the Whitley County Fairgrounds boat ramp. Some 34 kayaks entered the water, and all the funds raised are helping kids in need in Whitley County. This year showed a larger turnout than prior years.
We've had a lot of people this year. We've had a lot sign up day of. We had a lot pre-register through the sponsorships. The sponsors, depending on the level of sponsorship they do, they get race spots.
The kayaking ended with food and door prizes, and the funds raised will be distributed between the Family Resource Centers and Whitley County Schools, along with Corbin and Williamsburg Upward programs. The first ever Renaissance Fair in Manchester was hosted this weekend. The fair took place at Saltworks Village and took fairgoers back in time with costumes, shopping, and reenactments. Tourism Director for Manchester, Tim Parks, says having the event was a no-brainer since the city already owned the property.
There's a whole market of people that love this thing, right? So we do music festivals, Americana and gospel. We've got ATV things. We've got a lot of things that goes on here throughout the year, but we don't have this. So there's a whole market of even hometown folks that really enjoyed this. They've got in costume.
Parks also says during the event, the fair had 5 vendors completely sell out and that attendance was a huge success for being the first year the event took place. A dog needed to be rescued after it was bitten by a copperhead snake while on a hike in Wolfe County. Officials with the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team say they received a call of a dog in distress near Turtleback Arch around 1 p.m. on Sunday. They say the dog was unable to walk and had swelling on its back legs. The dog's owners had carried the canine on their back for around a mile before meeting up with the rescue team. The dog was administered Benadryl and carried out. In a post on Facebook, the rescue team says the dog Sasha was taken to a veterinary hospital in Lexington. There they found Sasha had been bitten 5 times by a copperhead on both of her back legs. Saturday was the first day of Kentucky Farmers Market Week. Commissioner of Agriculture Dr. Ryan Quarles is inviting folks from across the state to participate. The event will feature over 170 farmers markets in 115 counties. In those 170 markets, more than 2,400 vendors will offer fresh farm products for sale. A handful of Eastern Kentucky farmer markets will be featured. To find one near you, you can visit kyproud.com.
6:06 here on this first alert weather day Monday. We continue to track the possibility for some stronger storms this afternoon. And the unfortunate news, not much to show you out there right now on live pinpoint Doppler radar. We were hoping for a round of rain this morning that would kind of dampen things down just a little bit there this afternoon. Not the case. It's very, very widely scattered, and some folks even seeing a little bit of clear skies this morning. So again, sunshine is not our friend today. Quiet still downtown Whitesburg this morning. 72 out there, very mild and muggy across most of the region. Dew points in the 60s and 70s, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, so that's not a good combination. As we head into the afternoon, I do think we'll see temperatures climb into the low 80s before the rain starts, and that could kick into place pretty good as we head deeper into the afternoon. So first alert weather day, all modes of severe weather are possible. Stay weather aware and have a way to get those alerts quickly this afternoon. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, Vice President Kamala Harris talked over the weekend about how Bidenomics is working and creating more jobs.